People are looking just for a home run. It just feels good. That slap just felt so good. That's a TV shot, and it's a dopamine released. And if you don't have information, you're addicted to it. You're addicted to a drug.
A little over 4 milliseconds, roughly. And I don't know why people have such a hard time accepting that. I can't, that concept right there seems like people can't really grasp it. And yet they can just swallow the pill so easily when people use terms like come over the ball or get on the outside of the ball and I get why people feel that kinesthetic sense of being early and things like that. But if you go back to that one concept, I think it really, really shuts down what people would attempt to do with their wrists, in that little tiny speck of time that we call the hitting zone. And I think that people, what they feel versus what's actually happening, nobody really stops and breaks it down and just looks at that key moment leading into the hit and just after the hit. But very misunderstood. I think that we are, as Vic Braden said years ago, we're at war with the wrist in tennis, and it's a daily battle that we suit up for as coaches.
Again, it just starts with math. Before you talk about technique, it's good to explain to the players where they're standing on. Again, so seldom of players, coaches know the dimensions of the court, and it's just amazing. You're showing 3 triangles. It's a long rectangle, but when you draw it, it's like, whoa, that's a rectangle. You don't ever see that picture on the TV when you're standing on it. And then, question comes. You can miss on the tennis court 4 different places. You can miss it wide. You can miss it wide on the right, left side, net, or long. Which mistake you're trying to eliminate first. And if you don't know dimensions of the court, you're going to say net. And then you bring in the player to doubles alley, let's rally. Okay, now I know the dimensions. So just knowing your targets and knowing your stats, I think you will make a connection to the wrist that that needs to be more fixed. You need to hit the ball in a straight line. And then at the same time, if you don't know the math, if you don't know the strategy, you don't understand that tennis is a consistency game. People are looking just for a home run. It just feels good. That slap just felt so good. That's a TV shot, and it's a dopamine released. And if you don't have information, you're addicted to it. You're addicted to a drug. But if you know the dimensions, you know the math behind it, you know which mistake you try to eliminate first, you'll win at the war with the wrist. So it will make more sense to you. But if someone comes across, hey, it will feel like you're slower and all of this. It's like, I don't get my drug. I don't get my 1 point out of 10. So it's just education.
So people are being taught things, and with the wristy forehand, people are being taught, to come over the ball, to be wristy, lag, and snap. But like David said, Vic's line, you're at war with the wrist. And what Ilya was talking about, there's only a few places you can miss. And also Vic's research, if you're 1 degree off, the ball goes 6 feet different. That's just nothing. So people, it's like, if you're just messing around with that thing at all, you're going to miss. And so that's one battle, is that people are really teaching that to be active and not passive with the wrist, like actively try to do things, which is dangerous, not only for making and missing the shot, but then for injury prevention. But when I do see people that are trying to roll with the wrist or the forearm too much, there's brain typing as well. So some people may have the propensity to do that because they're genetically wired from the finger to the elbow. So that has to be talked about sometimes. But my favorite drill is to take somebody like that and to get them to really try to feel the upper arm work. So they swing more from the shoulders. I'll have them put the tip of the racket against the fence perpendicularly, like at the contact point. So they have that position. Okay, here's the moment of truth. And when I do that, I try to have them have a finger span of distance from their elbow to their body, to the side of their body. So they have, a decent amount of space there. And then just to have them keep the tip of the racket along the fence after the hit, so they start to feel the hitting zone, and even a little bit before that. So, and just try to work on an area through there where they keep the wrist and the forearm fixed, just to get that feeling. I'll have them close their eyes and do it again to get that kinesthetic connection. But to show them video, hey, here's, I show Federer all the time. This one clip that I have, like, here's slow motion and just look, here's the hitting zone. There's nothing funny going on. The racket's vertical at impact, and it's staying out towards that target after the impact. So you fight the ignorance in a few different ways, And then the proof just ends up being in the pudding, where it's like, okay, can you make the shot?